It's now time for the news review segment. Remember that it is interactive, and so we want to hear from you. Send us your thoughts, your comments, and contributions. Let us know what you think, and of course, what your own perspectives are to the issues that we'll be discussing this morning. A number of them, actually, and hopefully we are able to make judicious use of our time today. Two guests in the studio. Do a quick introduction, and then we'll get into the conversations. Larry Dogbe is here. He's the editor of the Herald newspaper. Good morning, Larry. Good morning. Good to have you. Yeah. And then Professor Michael Ayamga Adongo. He's the deputy CEO of the Environmental Protection Authority. Good morning, Prof. Good to have you. Nana. I trust all is well.
Oh, we're doing good.
Great, great. We may be doing good, but there's a danger that is looming, if you like, a health crisis occasioned by the destruction of our water bodies and our forest reserves. Yesterday, the Coalition Against Illegal Mining held a press conference. They are retreating or insisting on their call for the declaration of a state of emergency. I heard the General Secretary of the University of Ghana chapter of Utah. Yesterday, he was on a major news bulletin, the ChannelOne newsroom, also saying that there should be the declaration of a state of emergency, but it should be targeted. The Catholic Bishops' Conference has also issued a statement also on this same matter of illegal mining and its devastation, the destruction that it is leaving in its wake. Prof, you are with the EPA. Maybe we are ignorant of what will work in this fight, but the impact we can all feel and the burden thereof we will all bear. How do we stop this issue of illegal mining without politicizing same? Dealing with the issue up front? Should we treat it as a crime and deal with it as such? Should we treat it as a societal challenge and deal with it as such? What should we do?
Yeah, good morning to your listeners. Thank you for the platform. Good morning to my good comrade here, Larry. It's all the above you have mentioned. Illegal mining is already a crime. That is why it's called illegal. And there is no one engaged in this activity that, when caught, will not face the full rigors of the law. That is the issue here. We all agree to it. A societal change, yes, it has evolved over time to become a community activity. And as I sit here, the most saddening thing is now the realization that some communities perceive illegal mining as a livelihood activity, and they think it's an alternative between farming, using the land for cocoa, and then digging and exploiting gold. To the point that even when you go in there, you want to engage, they tell you if you allow white people to come and mine, why shouldn't they, the legal owners of the land, mine gold? So this is a cycle that has unfortunately sunk down in the various communities. And the community resistance that we had at the beginning of the whole Galamsey thing has disappeared. Most often I get youths visiting me when some foreigners, or let me say external people, visit communities. They'll come to you and say, let's go fight. Then you make the effort, and then they tell you bluntly, like I had last week, somebody told me that all they want is I should tell them to give them some of the place to mine. And I said, oh, what's the product? Oh, if they bring the machine and they dig some 10 acres, then they also dig some 3 acres for us, so that we are in. So they are negotiating. So that resistance that we could have relied on at the beginning has dissipated, and it's unfortunate. I am not sitting here and telling lies that Galamsey is being perpetuated by foreigners, is being driven by young people who have who and can. No, there is serious money into it. There is a lot of power engaged in illegal mining. And they are not just politicians, as you see. These are authorities. These are traditional leaders. These are very seasoned, even legal people engaged in this activity. And when they get the chance to sit before the microphone, they talk politics. And as you are talking, I was on the other side just a few months ago, calling for a state of emergency when I was in the university. And if you check my track record, you will realize that behind the scenes, I was one of the main power brokers and deal makers as far as UTAG activities were concerned. So as I sit here, maybe with the power to suggest that a state of emergency should be imposed, I'm the last person to call for it. You see,
what has changed?
What has changed is the fact that we'll miss the window of opportunity when we could have implemented it. I've gone to these communities. I've seen some of these people. They are not people afraid of dying. That is the truth. A state of emergency means that we should release our military to go in and shoot to kill. That is what...
That's really the case.
You've seen it even in your networks. They resist the military. They resist the police. So that is the challenge here. Is it an option to send the military in there with the order to shoot to kill people in the thousands? Because it is not like when they hear you are coming, they are going to stop. It's going to be a cat and mouse game. They will resist, some will be shot, they'll move to the next place. You move the military there, kill a few people, and they will move. That's what is going to happen. We need to slowly but consistently tighten the monies that flow into it, and then make sure that access to the equipment, that is where the damage is coming from. This thing called Galamsey has been with us for several years. The only problem is that money has gone into it, and some manpower, that is equipment, has also gone into it. That coupled with people who are highly connected with the ability to get the gold out of this country for the windfall, it fuels it. So our effort to first make sure that we have a stranglehold on gold exports, that will limit the extent to which gold flows out of this country. We can then begin to identify, see some gold and other things. If the money is not flowing back into Galamsey, I assure you that we can then, with very limited effort, bring this under control. I also think that over the years, the effort, and even more so now, to control the movement of excavators, even though it appears slowly, but it will eventually make sure that people don't have the equipment to go into a Galamsey. I have toyed with everything. There are times I wake up in the middle of the night and I feel like, okay, why don't we just send in military, give them explosives, and then they lace these excavators off and blow them off. And now that thought has not dissipated from my mind, and I'm still toying with it. Is it possible that if we meet an excavator within 100 meters of a riverbed, we blow it up? That's still an option I'm thinking of. So all the options are on the table. It's just that you have to carefully implement them. And one of the things that have also changed is that I've realized that this is our chickens coming home to roost. The unemployment that we have generated over the years have led. I met one of my students. I used to teach. In fact, I felt that at a certain point in time, this guy would become a university professor. He was so good that he could engage with you at any level. I didn't see him, so I was thinking of given how this intelligent this guy is. He's probably in Harvard or Yale pursuing, only for me to realize that he's in a Galamsey pit. Yes. He called, I mean, he saw me on TV and then he called and I was like, when did you come back? I said, he hasn't found a job ever since he left school and he's digging gold. These are the people are calling we should send guns after. So is it my fault as a university professor, or is the fault of government, historical failure? So if you sit here...
You want to mention his name?
No, I don't want to mention anybody's name. I don't want to mention anybody's name. And it's not only him. He mentioned a number of people who were in there.
A number of his mates.
Mates who are in there. It's not people who are just uneducated and so who are there. It is some people who are highly educated, who can't find jobs, who we have failed over the years, that have resorted to that. So solving the unemployment problem is one key challenge. We also need to think of something that if we don't retool and retrain people and diversify them, they are in there with firearms, they are in there engaged in drug abuse, and these are criminals ready to unleash whatever mayhem they get onto the city. So it is not just a matter of going in there and saying that you can drive them away. We need to provide alternatives to people, because the Chinese and whosoever that were involved in it have found a way to go backstage and then push our own people onto us, push our own community onto us. And the fight now is about Ghanaians against its own people and its own communities, not like foreigners. Yes, it is good that if we are able to target the export of gold and the purchasing of gold and other things, we will eventually be able to separate the clean gold from the dirty gold, and then perhaps try to control how gold is marketed. I believe if we get these things done, we can eventually be able to cut the funding from Galamsey and goes. If you take example for in countries that they are dealing with illegal drug, they have toyed with all the force before, but they realize that at the end of the day, they say follow the money trail. The money trail is where the solution is. If we can cut off the money that goes back into these mines, we can solve it. Yes, I know some people engage in Galamsey advocacy because they think it's a political tool. It is fanciful, and I was also engaged in fundraising not long ago. So I know that when you appear to be engaging the big shots, somebody thinks that, okay, he's fighting with the president on his weakness against Galamsey. It raises funds, you see. So people do it for the purpose of the fundraising. Others do it for political gain. They want to make government look weak. But as I sit here, I have told people time without number that if it comes to Galamsey, I will have no mercy and I will have no friend as far as you are not on the right side. I'm still not completely handed over yet. I can go back to the university anytime. So when I get you, I'll make sure you face the full rigors of the law. So is my boss. Every day we talk about this. We are like, okay, this thing, what is the best way? And we feel that we need to train, reform the system, and gradually, there is no quick fix to Galamsey. Anybody that thinks that we can impose a state of emergency and then boom, Galamsey is gone. No. It is much, much a bigger problem, and we missed the opportunity when we could have used force to stop it. Now it is pervasive, it's in the various communities, and it can only take consultative efforts and concerted efforts by all to solve it, not the way we are doing it.
Well, Prof, thank you. Dr. Ezekiel Jakumobing is with the MPP's National Communications team. Good morning, Doc, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Nana.
It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me. Good morning, everyone.
Larry, a few months ago, the NDC was on the other side of our political divide. There was so much talk about fixing or curbing illegal mining. We heard some leading members who are now ministers of state say that they could have ended Galamsey in 2 weeks. We had talk about repealing the LI 2462 when the NDC gets power. Now the NDC is in power. You were actually at the media encounter with the president. You heard him speak. But now we're listening to words, explanations. Should we lose the hope that we had in John Dramani Mahama and his administration to end illegal mining?
Thank you, and good morning to Prof and Doctor. I think I don't know where we are now. I honestly don't know where we are going with this. So it's like the positions have shifted.
Tables have turned.
The tables have turned. And the argument that the MPP used to make while in office.
In office, yeah.
Now NDC, is telling us that. And the MPP will also make the argument of the MPP.
So it's just a political charade.
Yeah. And it's becoming very interesting listening to our politicians. Okay. It's difficult. It's difficult. I mean, the media coalition is talking. The Catholic bishops, are talking. The UTAG is talking. University professors are talking. Some of the residents are also talking. But the strange thing is this. Even the people within, the catchment areas where Galamsey is taking place, who used to complain about the pollution of their water bodies and so on, are now deeply complicit.
But we cried and cried, you didn't mind us. And so instead of sitting there for somebody else to come and do it and take it away, let's all do it and die
also
together.
jump in there and die. But we don't have to get to that level.
At all?
No, I don't think we have to get to that level where we are hopeless.
Yeah.
We are hopeless.
But the reality is we are getting there.
Yeah, we are getting there.
Kwenyaku Waterworks is down.
Yeah.
Due to Galamsey.
Very soon students will go to secondary school. I mean, freshers will go to secondary school, and then others will go to university within the Cape Coast area.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
And there will be no water.
Yeah, the water. Water. For them. Okay. The other day I was here with Neil and Van der Poel and then
Set the Champon.
Yeah. And they were telling Neil and in particular, really appreciate the thing over there. I think more because I think he went to him, so he knows that area quite well. So, I mean, he was telling us about the pollution that had happened over there.
Yeah.
Most water, pumping stations are down. Ghana Water has complained and I mean, nothing is coming out. The president was confronted with that. Hey, what's the state of emergency? For me, I think if that is what would solve the problem, Prof, let's try it. I'm coming. Let's try it. Do you get it? It's what the voice of the people is the voice of God.
Yeah.
Do you get it? If the people are saying now they want state of emergency, but then the Catholic bishops have even moved further to say that okay, let's have it within, the particular areas. Yeah, that it should be targeted. Let's try it and see whether that is going to solve the problem. You get it? Let's try it. But the Catholic bishops are not just, talking about how this thing should be, just the state of emergency. They're also talking about
special courts.
Yeah, special courts.
Yeah, which I've called for several times.
Yes. Let's try that one too. Let's try it.
But who are we taking to those courts?
Is that?
Who are we catching and taking to those courts? That Kufie do who cannot afford an
I
excavator.
recall Gov't Adami, who said that Gov't Adami, who said, at the point in time, he said they prosecuted over 80-something, Galamsey people. When he was asked what I mean about the names, he couldn't provide.
Yeah.
When he was asked about which court were they prosecuted, he couldn't provide. You get it? He couldn't provide. And he couldn't provide for me, I think, because even at the time there was an open declaration that Petty in Yesika. Petty in Yesika.
Yeah.
And so much as there were people who kept screaming and names were mentioned all the way to the presidency, MPs were mentioned, pastors were involved, ordinary people, DCEs and so on were involved. Chiefs were involved. Nothing was happening.
Even the uniformed men sent to fight the thing.
Yes, exactly.
So I think there's the complicity of state actors.
Because if we impose state of emergency today, the same people calling for it will say, okay, we are implementing it loosely. They are not enforcing it strong enough. They should just go forward and say, go and kill. That's what they want people to do. And I don't think anybody wants to do that.
So they also talked about establishing a permanent corruption-proof task force to enforce this thing. I think it's because we had seen that most of the people who were deployed into those places, were not coming out with the solution that we needed. Okay. Now, you speak to some of your contacts in the military, and they tell you that Galamsey, pits, operating within Galamsey pits is not more lucrative than going to Lebanon.
Peacekeeping missions.
Missions. That it's serious.
Yeah.
And to a point where you had the generals. I mean, at the point in time, I could mention some generals to you who had concessions. Yes. And whose concessions were being, guided by, protected by soldiers.
Wow.
The medal of this guy,
Major Mahama.
Major Mahama. Listen, people know the truth. People know the truth, both opposition then and government then. People know the truth. People know the truth. The concession he was there protecting. People know the truth. People know the truth. And, it's this society is so contrived, such that if you don't join, you become the bad guy. I mean, which soldier in the morning will wear jeans and says he's going for jogging? and wearing boot, hard boots. At the point in
No, I'm only saying that at that time you saw that the communities were the ones resisting.
Exactly. So that community resistance is no longer there.
It was community resistance that got the guy killed.
So at that point we had the opportunity. If we had gone with force, we would have received the support of the community. Try it today.
But now the communities are complicit.
The communities see Galamsey as cocoa farming, an alternative.
It was a community resistance that got the guy killed. Because then they thought that, this is our land. We are not, we are using it for farming, we are using it for this and so and so. And then you bring in, it's government sensing a company. And then there's a military detachment that is protecting that particular,
the site of that company.
Decorated Galamsey. You understand what it is? The truth is there. People know the truth. The military knows the truth. Listen, when the thing even happened, the DCE then, who we spoke on your network also, saying that, listen, that is not the truth. The guy wasn't killed by a mob, or that is not the story. Do you know something? They shot, they shouted him down. The next moment, do you know where they took him? Ghana Maritime Authority asked one of the deputies to Thomas Alonsi. The government then sent him to Ghana Maritime Authority. And he's been there, zip his mouth, pop. And the guys were out there, being prosecuted. I mean, to what extent are we lying to ourselves over this? Why are we lying to ourselves? The politicians know who is involved and who is doing what, and who is not producing. He doesn't have a water processing, factory. But the kind of money that he has, you'll be shocked. He's not into real estate, but the money he controls, you'll be shocked. He's not into manufacturing of phones or even producing whatever, or even farming. But the money the guy is controlling, you'll be shocked. To me, we know what he's doing. One NDC MP who the people in the Western region, the people are pursuing all over the place.
Yeah.
Am I lying?
The Awin MP.
Yes, I am aware of. I'm aware of.
Can we go in there, regularize the activities and regulate them?
Exactly.
So that at least we know that, okay, there's some, you belong to this assembly, you are doing the mining within the catchment area of this assembly. And so you are paying X amount to the assembly. The assembly can invest a percentage of that amount into reclamation and, of course, doing some proper environmental protection.
So this is where I have issues with some of the people who are talking, particularly the coalition against Galamsey. Kenna Shigbe is, part of that coalition. The same Kenna.
He's a convener.
Yeah, he's a convener. The same Kenna Shigbe is also
CEO of
Chamber of Mines. Do you understand?
You think there's a conflict of interest there?
You see, I think he's talking too much.
You think so?
Do you know why he's talking too much? Yeah, the point is this. See, what is the chamber, the chambers, what is the chamber's contribution towards this fight? Do you understand? What are the companies doing? The company A that he advocates for, company B, company C, whose interests he represents. What are they bringing on board to contribute towards his advocacy? Because if you listen to him very well, his advocacy has always been about government. Government is supposed to do this. Government is supposed to, and he started way back under the MPP administration. Now he's, he hasn't moved on, but he's wearing double hat, representing the chamber of, the companies. What are the companies also saying? Because I think that the government, under President Akufo-Addo, proposed certain things. Mahama now is also saying other things. Amongst them is that, sending people to Australia or Canada to go and learn about this small-scale mining. Deployment of
Blue Water Guards.
Yeah, Blue Water Guards. That's also one. The police people who were also sent in there. I think IGP,
the IGP's tax force.
Tax force. IGP, moved out, reshuffled some
police commanders.
Police commanders. That is also another one. I mean, fast forward, what's his name? AEC, the Minerals Commission guy, has also been sacked. Do you understand? And I can go on and on. So maybe, and President Mama is saying that the events that got Omanibu Ama and others killed, that is also another attempt.
The responsible
that program that was launched, I think was overshadowed by
the unfortunate
whatever. Now, are the mining companies saying that they haven't heard about this? Is Ken saying that he also hasn't heard about this? And that this one, I mean, what is their role in there?
Maybe they haven't told us what they are doing, but they are only asking for the companies
they haven't told us. Then they should be telling us. They should be telling us. Do you understand? Because we are just shouting across each other or across the table. You get it? What is the mining company saying?
Very well.
What is their contribution to all this? Because if government is saying this, okay, that is government. But what about them? Sometimes their concession areas have been raided. Okay, and they've complained, invited soldiers. Sometimes some of the soldiers have gone there killing,
Larry, not to interject you, but just what you are saying. I think initially they were calling for the repeal of LI 2462.
2462, yeah.
2462. That has been the call. Yesterday or day first, when I listened to his press conference, he was talking that the repeal of that law is not enough. Why? Because we've actually started repealing that law. On Friday, we had a meeting with the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources. We were actually there to provide guarantees that we'll do whatever it takes with our allies and guidelines to ensure that the repeal of that law doesn't leave a vacuum in terms of legislation. Knowing that that process has started, it changed the tone that just the repeal of that law is not enough. So you see that it's a moving target here, and his activism is selective, and that's my problem with him.
Very
honestly.
Well.
So I think that he should tell us what the mining companies are doing or contributing towards the Galamsey fight. You get it? Beyond that, I mean, Sami Jemfi's outfit just gave out some 5 million Ghana cedis, and also some pickup trucks and so on. So, I mean, at least you can point out certain things that is being done, okay, and or that have been done. And, we need to hear from the private, companies as well. You get it? They have a certain policy. Are they also training people? Okay, how feasible is the thing about the Gov't tracking? Is they should tell us about how feasible that is. Okay, and that how do we differentiate between Galamsey gold and the one that had gone through, that is not Galamsey. Yeah. I mean, but the factory-based, that mining regular. We should be hearing some of these things. Those are the things that, are inspiring. Beyond that, it's just talk.
And these companies extend their expertise on responsible mining to some of these communities?
Yeah, well, they should be able to. Listen, if the thing is becoming, very, it's become very difficult to deal with, bring your expertise on board.
Instead of us sending people to Australia.
Yeah, maybe we don't even need to go all the way to Australia, where we'll spend so much money, but then we could even get the trainers here, team up with some of these companies, so that the knowledge is imparted right here, and we save money. People. With the money saved, we can expand the number of people who want to go through that. Now, should we get the investors involved such that if you don't want to do the journalism again and you want to jump into the mining pit, you talk to Professor Yamba, and then
Prof can give me his former students.
You see that? If Doc here, he doesn't want to practice medicine anymore, he wants to do Galamsey, he knows who to call, to go to whatever training there is. Because if it's become a way of life, We need to find a solution around it. You understand? We don't have the jobs for the people to go through. Okay? Like Prof said, that is one of his brilliant students.
Yeah.
And the guy is saying, "Oh, I'm not the only one in the pit." And
more guys
Al-Hassan,
Husseini
are all here with me.
Right.
It also means that the universities are not imparting whatever.
No, we did. It's the other side that failed them.
Academia did it right by industry
people
failed.
spend money used in. You see, today I'm very careful. I don't want to mention names so that I don't eventually bring my political side up. You see, people spend money meant for job creation. You bring a university student, go and put him somewhere, pay him 600 Ghana cedis, and you expect that and then after a few months, he waits 1 year to get the allowances. What do you think they're going to do? That was even the most fortunate ones. That's the fortunate ones. Those who were not even connected enough to get those jobs have been working. Can you imagine 10, 15 years you meet your student? I mean, for me, it was really painful that I teach somebody in the university. Having done 22, 23 years in the university, I felt I've done everything there. Let me spend some time in public office and maybe in politics. I have to come and give that student his first job. That's how bad this country was. So if you sit here and talk, you see, I don't always want to get emotional over these things. It's saddening that I teach a student, go and leave my old job, come to a new job, and I now have to give the student a job. And then you expect that if you find him in the Galamsey pit, me sitting here to sanction that the soldier should go kill that fellow, what has their parents done to me? That is the question we should be asking ourselves.
Does the state of emergency
necessarily mean shoot to kill?
That's why I'm saying that these people are not calling just for a state of emergency. You listen to the talk, that we should use force. No, and I'm saying that.
But if you use force, some of their kinsmen could also be involved. So for me, I doubt if that is what they are saying.
That's what I'm saying. What is a state of emergency going to do? If you arrest somebody from the place, you don't grant him bail. Who are you going to arrest at the end of the day? Again.
But if there's a state of emergency, then there's a permanent, presence of the security within these areas that will ward off the people from even coming there in the first place.
I mean, how many people have been killed in Boku?
You see, you are now putting me on the spotlight. You see, over the last 8 years, there was never a short supply of unemployed young people to the Galamsey pits. If you go in today and mop up all of them and put them in jail, there will be another set of people that will go in there. That is how the unemployment situation is feeling this thing. We just think it's people who are greedy. People who are wicked, no, it's survivors.
You sound like somebody who is giving up.
I'm not giving up.
Frustrated.
I'm not giving up. I'm just talking. For me, I'm not giving up. I'm the last person to walk away from any challenge. I'm only telling you that when the proposals they are offering are just populist to please whosoever is giving them the funds to say they are doing advocacy. I've not seen a single solution.
Well, Doc has been here for a while. Let me bring him into the conversation. But I'll start with you from the disconnect between the stance of the NDC in opposition and what we're seeing regarding the NDC in power in this fight against illegal mining.
A palpable disconnect. Not just a disconnect, but a complete U-turn. A palpable one. Right? One that I can stretch my hands and feel it.
And grab. It's tangible.
A rope from Jubilee House to the studios.
To Tesano.
I can feel it. Palpable one. And
but how about your side?
We are not in government. President Mahama told us at Ningo Pram Pram that he's not the one to give us ideas on how to battle Galamsey. Because the Kufuor then was the elected president. So it's not whatever we say that will make any impact, according to President Mahama. It's what the people or who the people have voted for, according to President Mahama, who's supposed to proffer ideas to solve Galamsey. That's what he told us.
Action-backed ideas.
That's what he told us. It's not any MPP person conjecturing or trying to, allege. It's the former president's own words. And when the time he was saying it, he was a former president and a statesman. It wasn't his duty. Kufuor then was the elected president. So he should solve it. And a lot of NDC functionaries made similar arguments.
I see the water body now is neither green nor blue.
We are coming.
It is brown.
It's brown.
So we need to come together to fight this.
It was brown then, and it's even browner today.
A lie.
According to TUC, according to TUC, I didn't say it.
It's a big lie.
According to TUC, in fact, all independent minds have said it's worse today.
That is a big lie. A big
Prof,
lie.
Prof, you hold on. Let Dr.
And Prof said he was not doing politics. Then he went ahead to talk about NAPCO. NAPCO was paying how much? 600, 700. During that same election cycle, what Prof's party, President Muhammad's proposal, was a similar vehicle which promised 300 cities.
Which one is this one?
He promised something similar. Go check the manifesto. No. Then, before 2016.
Right. Okay.
Yes. He promised something similar to pay people 300 cities. And then PP does something and pays someone 700. And Prof has issues with it.
You improved upon the 300.
Per what they proposed, I did more than double what they proposed. Right?
The various models.
Prof is trying to create the impression that unemployment became an issue in the last 8 years. If Prof could tell me a single policy during President Mohammed's first term, or even Prof Mills President Mohammed's 8 years, that they championed, they implemented, for which the MPP wickedly abrupted.
You should just mention the 14% unemployment data.
Right? So don't let us sit here and create the impression as though
14%
everything was rosy.
14% unemployment.
Prof is always intolerant.
You mentioned that I should give you one day.
All that I'm saying, everything I'm saying,
Prof, you hold on.
it's a rhetorical question, Prof.
All my questions are rhetorical questions. You had to make it clear.
All my questions are rhetorical questions. So then, the NDC didn't create any avenue of employment.
Right.
There was no sustainable job creation under the NDC. In fact, we had doctors who were even demonstrating, abandoning patients to go and picket at the ministry before they were paid. Doctors.
This is an MPP.
No, under President Mohammed's first term. I knew seniors from.
We are back there.
I'm telling you that you didn't create anything for which we discontinued. So don't let us create the impression as though all our woes started the last 8 years.
But are you sure?
But
Can you say
is
that
a
of a
continuum, isn't
government?
it?
I don't think that is factual.
That what?
That you can't say that nothing was created.
When it gets to Prof,
nothing was created that was abrupted by the
MPP.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So then let us create the
nothing was created at all.
Let us create the impression as though
MPP came
everything
and cancelled.
right. MPP came and cancelled everything for which reason we had unemployment situation in the country. And I'm using my own seniors as a point of reference. That doctors were working under your government and they were not paid. They had to abandon their poor patients on the wards to their fate.
They were not being paid?
They were not being paid.
Or this thing was being regularized?
Oh, what was regularization? We all passed through the system. For a doctor to go and picket at the ministry, is that about regularization? The salaries were not coming. They had worked 9 to 11 months. They're not being paid. And I know seniors, if you play the video, I can point out the seniors to you.
Pero, let's
right?
deal with the issue.
So that's the Ghana you left. You didn't leave any better Ghana. Yes.
That's why the better Ghana agenda then.
Oh, that was Prof. Moses' mantra. But they didn't leave any better Ghana in 2017. For which reason MPP came and had to disrupt everything. Let's set the standard clear. Back to your question. There's a complete discordance between what the NDC told Ghanaians and what they are doing today. We can give you litany of examples. In fact, they promised Ghanaians they were going to solve the Galamsey in 1 week if they had opportunity, because to them, ultimate power resided in the hands of the president of the country. And the president is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, the worst of the NDC, quoting the constitution and telling us that if the president has the will to fight Galamsey, it's a matter of giving instructions to the military. They will end it in 2 weeks. So Ghanaians should vote for them and give them 1 week.
In our manifesto.
Oh, so now what the NDC tells us, everything Prof sits here and assures the Ghanaian.
If it's not captured in the
manifesto, Ghanaians should take it to the pinch of salt.
It's derived from it. That's what I'm saying.
And Prof is still seeing a disclaimer.
I've noticed this trajectory actually.
Yes.
I've noticed this trajectory.
Yes.
That some promises were made, but because it's not captured in the manifesto, We're using the manifesto to, if you like, defuse him.
What they refuse to realize, Nana, what they refuse to realize is that a policy does not have to be written to be a policy. A policy can be verbal. So you don't have to write it in pen, black and white, in the manifesto, for it to become a policy.
Green pen.
In green pen, with a green paper, black ink on a green paper, signed by your Minister of Communications or Government Communications, for it to become a policy. Verbal communication is a policy. So you didn't have to write it in a manifesto. You told Ghanaians, give us 1 week. We will end Galamsey, because the president then was complicit. And they blamed the Kufuor and created the impression as though the kingpins in Galamsey were all MPP. Today, if that was your argument, and you believed, you knew that all the kingpins in Galamsey were MPP, the MPP is out of power. You mean you can't even crack the whip? It shows how deficient the government is.
They should be able to arrest the so-called
That's what you told us. That those who were doing mining were MPP.
But
in fact, they mentioned. And how Galamsey stopped? They arrested. I kept very quiet.
They arrested Untumi.
In fact, Nana, they arrested Untumi, and Galamsey has stopped. They arrested Untumi, and Galamsey has stopped. If you believe Untumi is involved, if you believe Untumi is involved in Galamsey, stop him and clean our waters. We are all for environmental preservation.
If I believe.
Yes, that's what he told us.
Don't let me say things.
Secondly, right? In fact, some even went to the extent of saying that state of emergency be declared and all forms of small-scale mining be banned for a period of about 10 good years. They believe that in opposition. Ban all forms of small-scale mining. And when the host even went further, are you saying even those regularized, licensed small-scale miners should be stopped? He said, you know what we are getting from Galamsey and what is being smuggled out of the country, including how much they are dissipating the environment. In fact, comparing the gains to the losses,
it should be banned.
There's a complete disparity between our gains and losses.
Who said it?
Therefore, a cabinet minister today. Therefore,
why you are afraid to mention his name?
I'm not scared.
So mention.
Therefore, the president, if elected, he was advocating that all forms of small-scale mining be stopped for a period of 10 years.
They were said lead a demonstration against Mahama if he fails to.
I've not heard that part, but at least I heard what he said about banning small-scale mining for a period of 10 years. Honorable Okudjota Blakwa, the foreign affairs minister who sits at cabinet with the president to reason for us on Galamsey.
He says now they are tightening visa measures to stop
Galamsey.
Yes, as a measure to stop the Chinese
from coming in.
So now you can't travel in a group.
The Chinese will come in one by one. They can't travel in a group. And if they come in one by one, it's to stop Galamsey.
They can be easily identified and traced.
Oh goodness! Right? They even went ahead to say that self-governance now, not in the shortest possible future.
Now,
self-governance now. Therefore, implement whatever
state of
emergency now, not tomorrow. The education minister's words. Then in opposition, right? And when people were asking, "Oh, let's come to the drawing table," they said we should come where? Ghanaians have voted for the NPP. Kufuor is in power. If he has the way, he'll stop Galamsey. So they gave the Ghanaian a very juicy assurance. And I have colleague doctors
who are in the pit.
You said education minister's words.
Yes, on Joy.
Honorable Haruna.
Yes, that stop Galamsey now, not in the future. That's what he said.
Yeah, he said stop Galamsey now.
Implement state of emergency now.
If you had a president then who says, "Listen, I'll put my presidency on that line,"
at least he has said something. All the measures, boss, you mentioned as being President Mohammed's measures to stop Galamsey cost 90.
Okay.
At least everyone believes that at least for the first term of Kufuor, his measures against Galamsey, we could see some results. At least he made a bold step. Give me one bold step.
Was not the first time
and
that
what
this guy
happened in the
got
second
killed?
term?
Give me one bold step this government has made. Aside sitting on camera and crying to Ghanaians.
Who?
The sector minister. So he has implemented 3 policies at his ministry.
Crying, whimpering.
The yellow submarine.
No, that's the blue.
The blue water guards.
There was a yellow. Before the blue. The yellow submarine cost 90. The blue sky fighters cost 90.
Blue water guards. What's the word from this guy?
Oh, I'm in reference to the skies.
No,
Right? The blue sky fighters.
No, but the yellow was Abu Jinapor.
No, in his
Abu Jinapor did something.
Abu Dhabi had river guards who wore yellow.
Yeah, exactly.
In the lance minister's constituency, he inaugurated a yellow submarine. The Hoya boys, you need to see the videos. And it yielded nothing. Cost 90, zero. Dissipation of state resources. Went on to the blue sky fighters. Cost 90. Then he said, you know what, I'm tired. He sat around the table with cameras and he wept.
Because he was pained by
it was as though he was calling us as a country to cry a river. So that, as they say, little drops of water
so it will wash the water
make a mighty nation, a mighty ocean, right? So we all come together, cry as a country. Our individual droplets of tears will come together, coalesce to form a river, to form an ocean, and then to go and wash our water bodies. Those are the policies this government has implemented. And it's cost 90. There is no positive will to fight this Galamsey. In fact, the president's response. How are you going to identify small-scale miners? If people claim you knew the people, you are now going to identify those people. Is it the kingpins or those down there? Which brand of the investors or which people in the value chain are you going to train? That what? The kingpins importing excavators, please import environmental friendly excavators. Or those down there washing the sand in the water bodies. Which of the categories of people in the value chain are you sending to Australia?
Are you aware of the Party here Sika policy?
So Party here Sika now.
No, I'm saying.
So Party here Sika. Party here Sika now. Is that the reason why I'm saying is West? And according to the TUC, those are not my words.
Yeah.
During the first 3-4 months of this administration, at the May Day celebration, they told the president in the face that Galamsey is worse off. Those are not my words. The TUC leadership was at the parade. And those were their words. The president was seated there. So if within 4 months, Galamsey had gotten out of hands within this administration, imagine the effect today. We're not part of the TV stations who were lining up coffee and Milo and tea infused with milk with gravels.
We actually have had different campaigns in the
so you stop bringing the water bodies to your studios. So the next time when we are coming, you should bring the water bodies.
And somewhere in the Western region, someone had packaged some and was selling.
And the water bodies.
Yeah.
And my disappointment somehow is with the media houses. Because everywhere I went, in fact, I went to GTV then. They had the water bodies lined up. Wall labeled. Why have you stopped?
We've not actually stopped in our campaign.
So what are the samples of the waters?
I think now it is there for everyone to see. So we don't need to bring the
samples.
samples.
So you don't need to bring the samples. No. As you were here, and as you did
that's
them,
because some of them have claimed.
You should have brought the water bodies to remind us. That yes, this is River Pra, this is River Cobra today and yesterday.
I'm sure that is Pra you are holding.
No. Pra actually flows through my village, and I weep when I see Pra.
Very well.
So to end, my brother, there's a complete U-turn. What the government promised and what they are delivering. In fact, they are delivering nothing. Our state is worse, and it's as though they've forgotten that per their own words and the medical research they did, the bioaccumulation of the heavy metals in people, the constant reminder that we are giving birth to children with birth deformities,
the cleft and all,
the constant reminder that what the bioaccumulation of the heavy metals were risk factors for certain cancers, kidney failures, neurological deficits, and co. All of a sudden, they stopped. And the president is telling us that, after all, if the people are destroying our environment, they are Ghanaians and they are making monies. So we should go ahead and destroy our environment. If anyone ever believed, had any iota of belief that the NDC, with what they were preaching in opposition, had the goodwill of the country at heart, and they had any business of stopping Galamsey, Wednesday's Meet the Press is a clear example in a departure from what they told us. And the government's spokesperson and the president's communication minister at the ministry, the presidency, even has come out to tell us that the president did not give any guidelines on when to end Galamsey. So if you are Ghanaian out there and you believe or has any hope that within the shortest possible time, in fact, within these 4 years, the president has any will to fight Galamsey, his communication or spokesperson is telling you that the president did not give you any guidelines, except in their first 120-day contract they signed with us. It's captured there, but they've made a U-turn.
But you didn't realistically expect that the fight would be an event?
The people gave you 1 week, and you are doubting them, Nana. They told us they'll do it in 1 week. And we are saying in 1 week it's unrealistic.
What was the 1 week giving?
Go and check their Facebook and Twitter handles.
You have it? Let's see.
The people told you they will end it in 1 week. In fact, they even captured in their manifesto. Prof wants to know whether something is captured in their manifesto. Your first 120-day contract, Prof, it is there. I can read it for you. Your first 120 days. This is what you promised Ghanaians. Bullet 19, to be precise. Ban illegal mining. Ban. Underline ban. Ban illegal mining. And new mining activities. If Galamsey is
across board or in specific areas?
In forest reserves.
Okay.
Which we have done.
In forest reserves. But the pictures we are showing.
You see, the reason I have kept quiet and Doc is going on is
ban. This is what they told us.
I normally want to react to when you are presenting data. You are talking of facts. But everybody has a right to insinuate. So once I see you are insinuating, I don't want to go down that line because there's nothing to rebut.
We will finish and Prof will tell us what they've done to stop Galamsey.
Very well.
Ban illegal mining and new mining activities in forest reserves. Roll out Tree for Life. You have a Tree for Life. And Blue Water Initiative. And Blue Water Initiative to heal.
If you are normally caught in the hospital, you don't know what's happening in the country. Fine, but these are
Prof was caught. Prof was caught in the classroom and couldn't tell us the initiatives they gave to give sustainable jobs. I was caught in the consulting room, but I knew they initiated nothing. I knew I was in the surgical theater in the consulting room, but I knew they initiated nothing to provide sustainable means of employment for Ghanaians. Right? And heal sustainably and harness environments by turning areas and water bodies degraded by illegal mining into economic and ecological recovery hubs.
Yes.
The rivers we are seeing, are they economic
hubs? They didn't say they were going to do it in 8 months.
They said 120 days. If I was 120 days contract, how many days? 120 days. How many months? For 120 days. How many months? They have failed. They have failed. And if anyone has any hope that this government means well for Ghanaians and will stop illegal mining, it's a better thing to
Very well. Thank you, Doc. Quickly
2 seconds. I think that, you see, the Mahama government is also not helping matters. We should be able to do comparative analysis of all this. What was the I'm coming. What was the situation then and what's the situation now? Now, it's easier to fly drones. We even procured some drones before.
But I find that very worrying.
I'm coming. Such that let's know, I mean, the extent of whether the water bodies that were polluted at the time, whether we still have the same thing now. You get it?
And we've made progress.
Or we've made progress. Or else we could just be caught in this thing by politicians, using old pictures or old videos to be telling us, their own story. Do you understand?
You see, I was telling one of my staff yesterday that the Galamsey thing is like a Mexican wave. It goes up, and where it has passed, you control it, comes down. You see, the environment is such that there are some areas you can destroy and then you don't see the image. But when you go into very fragile areas close to river bodies, and you may just destroy a small area, but the damage looks massive. So that is one key challenge that we have. For now, in terms of area under Galamsey now, compared to areas we have, there is a vast difference. It's just that the season at this point in time is raining, and then you have a few new areas coming in, and when you go in there,
that is being washed into the river.
Yes, of course. So when you get all those things happening, the area look massive. I'm not even 1 inch of Galamsey is bad, and that's why I don't want to go into those comparisons. I don't want to be dragged down that line because I'm supposed to be a regulator. If I'm not able to stop Galamsey even in 1 acre square, it's a big problem. And I'm not going to go down that line of saying that this was what it is, this is what it's not. It must stop, and that is what we are working on. We deal with concrete plans. I'm even to a point thinking of how to preempt Galamsey to stop it from going to certain areas. As I told you, communities are waiting eagerly. They just expect that when it reaches their turn, they will do it. So we have to be preemptive, get to a certain point that we say, can we move ahead of this and stop this year? If I tell you the number of forest reserves that have been reclaimed under Mahama, you'll be shocked. I don't want to come.
I do recall that President Mahama, in opposition, promised the use of artificial intelligence to track the movement of, the excavators themselves. Have you procured any such a thing?
Most of even these excavators I'm talking about, the reason why they see genuinely important excavators is to implant devices on them and put them measures in such a way that we can even track them. You know, first, they were not even registering them. The problem we currently have now, somebody said they look for the owner of the excavator, and then, so most of the excavators we have out there are not registered. They are cleared and then they don't take them to
this tracking devices policy. So knowing what I know, I don't see how it's going to work. But
over the years, the problem they created, if you stood out, you wouldn't know the gravity of the problem.
Let
me just tell you something. When I first came in, they arrested a big party guy here involved in Galamsey. And when I first came in, I still had that my no-nonsense attitude. So I called director of mine.
Has that changed?
No, it hasn't changed.
Are you accommodating nonsense now?
No, because when I sit here and people are saying things, I'm supposed to keep quiet. So
very well.
So I asked the director of mining, why are you people prosecuting this guy? Is he not what? So bring me his problem. The guy went and brought this guy's file. The only time he had come to the EPA for license was once. So he came, and then they gave him what he's expected to do. He just bullshitted them and went ahead mining. That is what they went and sat down, they were waiting for. And that's why I'm telling him he shouldn't be daring me, because you see, I have an oath of secrecy and the other things to keep information. But the things they have done, if I have to sit here and speak the way you are speaking, if I sit here and try to say
your people said west. Your people said west. Your people said west. Your people said
very well. Very well. Thank you. Doc, hold on. Very well. The good people of Ghana will be the judges.
Exactly.
The good people of Ghana will judge us. Very well. Let's take a break here. I've seen. No, we need to take a break. No, but my break time is fast spent. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Prof. Let's take a break here. When we come back, we'll read your messages and then we'll move on to another topic. Stay with us. Come back. This is Breakfast Daily. We're having the news review segment. Dr. Ezekiel Ejekumobe is here. Prof. Ayamga Adongo is here. Larry Dogbe is also here, as well as you, because I've seen your messages. Let me read a few of them, and then we'll move into other areas. This one says, good morning, Anna. I want to share some thoughts regarding the professor on your show this morning. It seems there may be a disconnect between their current stance on Galamsey and what was communicated during the elections. There's a growing concern about credibility within the NDC government, and it's something we need to address as a nation. As Ghanaians, we find ourselves facing some challenging situations, particularly with the increasing pollution of our water bodies. It might be beneficial for leaders to align their actions with their words to foster trust and integrity. Thank you for considering my perspective. NDC government is a scam. This is Officer from Yendi. This one says, Larry, be bold and digest the question. Gov't Dam is not in government now. Why are you afraid to criticize Mahama? You are just beating about the bush. Simple question. Look at how you are whining yourself. Well, that's his own observation. That's not what happened.
I'm sure he's watching a different set.
Good morning to you all. Please, the fight against illegal mining and not using guns, please, or soldiers. No, I don't understand this. Okay, you say, please, may I ask, how did the politicians used to win elections? Isn't it through campaign? The government to use a community soccer gala, community talk show, basically asking for a consultative process. Very well. In fact, this young man talks passionately. Please, let's help get rid of Galamsey, or Galamsey will get rid of us very soon. Big Brain Larry, keep it up. Okay. Good morning. I am Adam Abdurrahim from Nkaria District in Ashanti region. Please tell the man in blue he's speaking something sensible enough. That's the realities here, Chairman. Okay, they are. Well, I don't know if you.
No, I'm not him. I'm not him.
So that's Prof. Then.
I'm sure it's Prof.
That's Prof. Then. Good morning, Anna. It's truly disappointing how the NDC government is handling the Galamsey menace. Not long ago, when they sat in opposition, then former President John Dramani Mahama confidently promised the nation that he would deploy artificial intelligence to track and end Galamsey. Sam George too boldly declared that any president who truly has the will can end Galamsey in just 1 week. These statements were not whispered in secrecy. They were made openly to win the trust and vote of the Ghanaian people. But today, with the reins of power firmly in their hands, those promises have vanished into thin air. Where is the artificial intelligence that was to serve as a game changer? Where is the strong political will that was so loudly proclaimed? Instead of action, Ghanaians are waking up to see polluted rivers, destroyed farmlands, and devastated communities, while government officials give excuses. Hey, Abu, no, the message is too long. Please, let's keep it short so we can read all. This one says, good morning, I like your panel, always bringing matured people to your discussions. May Almighty Allah bless you all. This is Muntaka from Bole. Please tell Doctor that I like him. I wish to meet him one day. Doc, you just made a fun. Okay, let's move into other matters. We'll come back to the messages. The matter of Ghana receiving some deportees. The president mentioned during that encounter that some 14, did he say had arrived or were scheduled to arrive?
I think they have arrived.
Have arrived.
Yeah. I recall what, when they took the Ghanaian, those guys who were involved in the romance scam and so on. I think just around that time, an aircraft landed, and some of these guys were, were taken from the aircraft and checked into some, like something like that. I saw pictures of that. So if you go to the U.S. Embassy website, I think there are pictures of a sort. So yeah, so it means that people had coming.
Well, we are being told that measures are being put in place to ensure that these deportees are not a risk to Ghana. We're also being told that the deal with the U.S. was driven by humanitarian principles and not money. Yeah. These are words of the Foreign Affairs Minister. If we know what nationals these persons are, why didn't we deport them directly to their countries? Why should Ghana serve as a conduit, or, if you like, a conveyor belt of a sort?
I think that from what the president said, is that these are mainly West African citizens. So the idea was to just receive them and then
we would redistribute.
Yes, sometimes they want to go on their own. Other times, you assist them to leave. And that there was a particular one that they were having difficulty, putting him in another aircraft and then sending him away. So they contacted their embassy here, and then the embassy, took charge, and then perhaps he was flown to his original country and so on. So I think this one compared to the Gitmo, there's a sharp, dichotomy, contrast. Gitmo, these were people who were in jail for terrorism and other things and so on at the time, and that when the Obama administration wanted to disband that particular arrangement at Guantanamo Bay, they decided that they were distributing them in countries. Now, per whatever arrangement that there was, they were said to be terrorists. So even in their case, people were like, listen, these boys were just picked up on suspicion that they were terrorists. It's not like they were caught in the act, planting a bomb or shooting
But they had been convicted.
Yes, but we all know that is a different discussion altogether around, America's, after September 11, all that they did and so on. That's a different discussion altogether. However, even in their case, they were not of any high risk, we were told. On that score, so they were kept here for some time, and then after a while, I think we never heard from them. When the Gov't government took over, I think there were questions as to what they were going to do with the two. But whether they were going to send them away. Then, you know, the foreign minister or the president then said something more like, oh, no, you know, it was just more, and you could see clearly it was more for the politics. I mean, that went on at the time. Again, what we noticed, or what was said at the time, was that before the Mahama government, the Mahama one, accepted those Gitmo guys, consultations were done with the opposition leader, President Akufo-Addo. But the narrative changed when the thing blew up, and Akufo-Addo started, you know, running away from that kind of consultation with the American ambassador. Pictures of which, you know, we all saw. You get it? All I'm saying is that their situation is different from this situation.
But in this situation, we're also being told that some of these people are convicted criminals.
Who said that?
It's been said.
Who said it? Is it an official statement?
No.
Exactly. Yes. But for me, I think that the Americans are not helping matters. See, when you are bringing the people in, just, you know, mention that, first of all, state that, this is the arrangement between Ghana and us. And that we were to bring, you know, people here. These are West African citizens. When they come, whatever, you know, Ghana is allowed to take them back to wherever. We can't drop each and every one of them in their respective countries. You get it? So we bring them here, and then an arrangement is made for them to go to their respective countries. When you do that, you absorb, you know, Ghana off, or the government off any blame, and you minimize the, you know, the security or the controversy that this thing would generate. But I don't see this as an issue, or, you know, this was President Mahama who said it, you know, voluntarily. Okay? And so, I mean, why are we, you know, picking on as though it's something that somebody discovered out of an investigative journalism or something controversial that had happened? It's nothing.
Well, okay, thank you. Prof, let me come to you. Although it was President Mahama who said it, we know that, I mean, there was some pressure being put to bear on our government, and we've seen it in the tightening of visa restrictions from the U.S. in recent times. Have we just kowtowed, or did we just bow to the pressure from the U.S.?
No, you can't deny U.S.
I don't.
You have no idea.
Well, when America sneezes, when America sneezes,
you see, I think this is much ado about nothing.
You think so?
Yes. We exist in this world in a relationship, and you cannot at any point in time say that you will not deal with other nations. And there are some things you do not because of just the individuals involved per se, but the collective impact on Ghanaians, and for that matter, our nationals in other countries. You see, we have hundreds of thousands, maybe if not millions, in the diaspora, some in the United States alone. And depending on how we treat maybe people of our nationality, or how we even work with the U.S. government on matters that has to do with legal jurisdictions, could impact how people are treated out there. It could also impact how our people are able to move into their jurisdictions. So sometimes you need to make concessions. This one is open fact, that an issue like this could lead to the tightening of visa restrictions for Ghanaians. It could lead to the tightening of maybe admission requirements and other things, as we are now seeing with as far as Harvard and China and the rest are concerned. True. And most of the impact of such activities or such restrictions may be far wider than accepting 8 people into this country who we can easily monitor and look at. So I think that some of them are necessary evils. Also look at it this way, that you could have people who are imprisoned, they are not even Ghanaians, but they are imprisoned in another country. They've done their time, they probably want to reintegrate. There may be some challenges with they going back to their host country. That is what Ghana is known for. We have set the pace as being the flag bearer of African unity, and sometimes making those few concessions to bring people in so that we can have make life easier for the rest of us and for our people in the diaspora. I don't think it's a huge sacrifice. And they are not a danger. We have proven with time that even people who were convicted of or accused of engaging in terrorist activity, they lived in this country, we managed the situation well, and they left. These are West Africans who are seeking to reintegrate into society. I don't think that offering a shoulder for them to cry on is a big issue. So for me, it's much ado about that.
There's a very big shoulder.
Yes, these same people who are calling, let those out there vote, and they're calling for ROPA and other things.
ROPA,
when this is another extension of them. If you want them to vote, when they have a problem in their coming, we need to also stay up to them. So me, I don't want to dwell much on this issue. I believe that at any point in time, if we can help this world become a better place in terms of our relationship, we should do it and not try to play politics with it. I don't even see anything political about this. But anyway, people have to make noise, so they have their chance to do it.
Which people?
I haven't mentioned any name.
Doc, does this in any way put us in a better position regarding our bilateral relations with the U.S., or is it us typically wanting to be a poster boy in every situation?
Is there an issue of Ghana going to say yes, Amasa, to America? Or, I mean, things don't add up. Now, the explanations are coming in that they are just here to transit. Which of the routes is easier? Traveling from America to Gambia, direct. The U.S. is deporting people. They are not deporting people into other countries for them to go to their home countries. We watch CNN every day, and we see the pictures, we see the images. They go directly to their countries. So it doesn't add up that they are being brought here temporarily, then they will leave Ghana to their home destinations. I mean, how does it add up? Clearly, there's something amiss. I mean, tell us that, well, because of our relationship with the U.S., they came knocking and we couldn't refuse. And that puts the matter to rest. But trying to insult our intelligence and tell us that, or offer certain explanations that they are going to Gambia and other West African countries and they are just using Ghana as a conduit, when it's easier to travel directly to those destinations compared to transiting through Ghana. It doesn't add up. And it beats any understanding. We are in the era of security threats internally. And anything that borders on security, I was expecting the government to be more circumspect. Yesterday, we heard news of a fresh outbreak.
How many?
Yesterday, with some people dead, right?
Yeah. One dead, we understand.
And it speaks to our constant problem, our incessant issue we are dealing with in terms of security. People dying here, people dying there. And today, we have Ghanaians who are refugees in other countries. We're supposed to be the shining star of Africa. We're supposed to be the gateway.
And it's that same star that's shining in receiving these...
That star is shining and is dimming at the same time, for which reason we have over 40,000 people displaced, surviving on gari and sugar in other countries. So we have our own issues to deal with. Was there a proper background check of these people?
That's the assurance the Foreign Affairs
How are
Minister
they
given.
going to be integrated into this country when they could have made their ways to their respective countries? You know, we've had this same government led by...
You don't see anything positive about this?
Aside saying yes, Amasa to America, I don't see anything positive about it.
Really?
Yes. Tell me.
You know, let me chip in this thing. I was young when the Liberian War broke out. And much as I was a kid, I can remember that because then we had a family of Liberians come to live with my mother.
Okay.
Or with my mother was the one who accepted. And my father didn't have a choice than to say that, okay, hey, we're coming. And we were, sharing food and everything with them. You get it. I mean, I recall the role that, Rawlins's government played in having what we have today as Budumburam camp and so on. So Ghana has always been known, you know, as a, you know, on humanitarian ground. There were times during, I'm coming on, sorry. There were times during the Rawlinson's regime again, during Yadema the first, where elections brought some stripes in Togo. And Aflao, Denu, and all those areas became, you know, humanitarian grounds or refugee centers for Togolese, you know, who were running away from the strife. So, for me, I don't see this. What?
The two contexts
are different,
are not mutually inclusive.
Really?
Okay. My question is
because one has to do with the war.
We are talking about a war breaking out in other West African countries.
Humanitarian.
And Ghana being a member of ECOWAS, being a member of AU, being a member of UN, would open our doors.
No, but Larry is speaking on the backdrop of humanitarian.
What is humanitarian about this?
My question is,
what is humanitarian about this?
Like Prof said, offering a shoulder for
what is the problem?
No, we have been told the people are transiting. But it's easier to send.
Even if they are not transiting, they are here.
Well, the level of intolerance, on this platform. Very everything Prof says about 90%, I don't agree with Prof. But I keep quiet. Same with my boss. Sometimes I don't agree with Mr. Larry, but I'll keep quiet. When it gets my turn, the interjections. Clearly, what is humanitarian about this?
Okay.
It's easier for them to travel directly to their country. Recently, the president traveled, and due to their own propaganda they did in opposition, they couldn't rent a flight for the president to go directly to Singapore or Japan, right? So they said they had to transit in where? UAE or Dubai for 22 hours. That's not what we were told. Which one was easier? The president flying directly to Japan or transiting through Dubai for 22 hours?
A president who is minded by protecting the public.
A president who is minded at that point by the West they spewed to Ghanaians in opposition. Right? So transiting 22 hours or 24 hours, sleeping in certain hotels in Dubai, right?
Can I speak? It's not a subject to talk. And I won't sit here and allow you to
It's not fair.
No, it's not.
No, I'm giving an example. And it's not fair. I'm giving an example. It's an example. Yes, the cost and convenience.
The cost of if he says this, I also want to talk about the.
Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. I'm wasting your time. Prof, how can you? I mean, no, you're doing. But I kept quiet and listen to you. That's democracy and that's tolerance. I don't agree with you.
Wrap up.
But I kept quiet. I'm saying that I'm giving an example.
So you don't see anything
that our president traveled and transited in Dubai. We were told for 22 hours or more. And we all saw that, yes, it wasn't appropriate. It wasn't convenient for our president. It's the same way we are being told that Ghana is being used as a transit point to Dubai and its humanitarian grounds. You are doing more danger to them than trying to help them. Because indeed, if it was about their safety, about convenience and humanitarian grounds, your advice should be that, how much would it cost in terms of resources and even time resources to travel from US directly to Gambia compared to transiting through Ghana to Gambia? And we all know.
Very well.
So clearly, come and tell us the proper facts of the issue.
Good morning, my brother. In my humble opinion, I don't think the NPP as a political party has any moral rights to blame the NDC when it comes to the fight against Galamsey. The NDC cannot use 8 months to solve a problem that they created in 8 years. Okay. Kalipa, your message is too long. Unfortunately, I'm unable to read it. Amino from Insawam says, if 9 months is sufficient to remove the head of the judiciary, an arm of government, then shouldn't it also be enough time to implement measures to stop Galamsey now? Okay. This one says, great input by the NPP guy. Okay, this one says, good morning to you. The interesting thing about the NDC government is that they think talks in opposition and performance in government are the same. Today, the reality has caught up with them. Talent from Adidome in Central Tong sent that. Gentlemen, unfortunately, we've run out of time. We're unable to move into other issues, but I'd like to thank you so much for your time and your submissions this morning. Hopefully we'll meet again next week and we can look into other broader matters. We'll find a way to extend the time. We'll find a way to extend it. We're thinking about it, yes. Okay. We'll find a way to extend the time so we can deal with other matters and deal with them decisively. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Doc. This has been the news review segment on Breakfast Daily. I am Nana Tufo Boateng. Stay with us because Philip and Chris take over after this break.